Olivia Bennett had been a waitress at the Harbor Cafe for 3 years. At 28, she had dreams bigger than carrying plates and refilling coffee cups, but life had other plans. Her younger brother's medical bills came first. Her own aspirations could wait. Today was supposed to be a good day. Tips had been decent, and she only had 1 more hour on her shift. Then she saw him walk in. Damien Blackwell moved through the cafe like he owned the place. Dark wavy hair, sharp features, and an easy confidence that came from never having to prove anything to anyone. He wore casual elegance like armor, a crisp white shirt, tailored navy pants, and a watch that probably cost more than Olivia's annual salary. He chose a corner table by the window and sat down, checking his phone with the focused intensity of someone who measured time in dollars. Olivia grabbed her notepad and approached, summoning her professional smile. "Good afternoon. What can I get for you today?" Damien barely looked up. "Double espresso. I'm meeting someone." His tone wasn't rude exactly, just distant, like she was part of the furniture. "Right away," Olivia said, keeping her voice pleasant despite the dismissal. She returned moments later with his espresso, her tray balanced carefully. But as she set it down, a woman in expensive heels rushed past, bumping hard into Olivia's shoulder. Everything happened in slow motion. The espresso cup tipped, hot liquid splashing across the pristine white shirt. Dark coffee bloomed across the fabric like spreading ink, staining everything it touched. Damien shot to his feet, shock crossing his face. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," Olivia gasped, grabbing napkins and desperately trying to blot the damage. Her hands shook as she pressed the paper against his chest. "I'm so sorry. Someone bumped me. I didn't—" "Just stop," Damien said sharply, stepping back. "You're making it worse." Tears burned behind Olivia's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Not here. Not in front of him. "I'll pay for the dry cleaning," she said quickly. "I'll cover everything. Please, Do you have any idea how much this shirt costs?" Damien asked, his voice cold. "This is Italian silk." Olivia's manager, Mr. Peterson, hurried over, his face red with alarm. "Mr. Blackwell, I'm terribly sorry." "Olivia, my office now, Mr. Blackwell." The name hit Olivia like a punch. Damien Blackwell, the owner. The man who had bought the Harbor Cafe 6 months ago and turned it from a struggling diner into a thriving business. The man who could fire her with a single word. "Please," Olivia said, her voice breaking. "I need this job. My brother, he's sick and I can't—" "My office," Mr. Peterson repeated firmly. Damien watched her go, something flickering across his expression before he masked it with indifference. But then his date arrived. Miranda Stone, a lawyer from a prestigious firm, beautiful, polished, and exactly the type of woman everyone expected Damien to marry. They sat down at a hastily cleaned table. Miranda talked about her recent case, her summer in the Hamptons, her thoughts on opening a second vacation home. Damien nodded in the right places, but his attention kept drifting. To the back office, to the waitress who had looked at him with such desperation and pride fighting in her eyes. In the office, Olivia stood before Mr. Peterson's desk, her hands clasped tightly. "That's Damien Blackwell," Peterson said heavily. "The owner. Of all the people to spill coffee on, I know. I'm sorry. Please don't fire me." Peterson sighed. "I'll do what I can. But Olivia, if he demands it, there's nothing I can do." Olivia nodded, swallowing the lump in her throat. When she returned to the floor, Damien and his date were still there. Miranda was laughing at something on her phone. Damien was staring out the window. Olivia forced herself to approach their table. "Can I get you anything else?" Damien looked at her properly for the first time. Really looked. She was younger than he had initially thought. Late 20s, perhaps. Her blonde hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, and her eyes were red-rimmed but defiant. She held herself with dignity despite everything. "Actually," Damien said slowly, "I'd like to order lunch, for both of us." Miranda blinked in surprise, but Damien's attention remained on Olivia. "What do you recommend?" he asked. Olivia hesitated. This felt like a test. "The grilled salmon is excellent today. Fresh herbs, lemon butter sauce. The chef makes it beautifully." "We'll have 2 of those," Damien said. "Thank you." The simple courtesy in his tone surprised her more than anything. As the date continued, Damien found himself increasingly distracted. Miranda's conversation felt hollow. Every perfectly crafted sentence, every calculated laugh, reminded him of how empty his life had become. Meanwhile, Olivia moved through the cafe with quiet competence. She laughed with an elderly couple at table 5. She patiently explained the menu to a confused tourist. She carried herself with grace despite the disaster that had started her afternoon. When Miranda excused herself to take a call, Damien made a decision. He walked to the counter where Olivia was organizing receipts. "I need to apologize," he said quietly. Olivia looked up, startled. "Sir, you don't—" "I was harsh earlier, unnecessarily so. The shirt doesn't matter. It was an accident." "An expensive accident," Olivia said with a weak smile. "Maybe, but I've been watching you work. You care about every person in this room. You remember the regular's order before he asks. You noticed when that woman dropped her scarf and returned it. That matters more than silk." Olivia's eyes filled with tears she couldn't quite hide. "Thank you. That means more than you know." "Your brother," Damien said carefully. "What's wrong with him?" "Leukemia. He's 15. The treatments are expensive, and insurance doesn't cover everything." Damien nodded slowly. "I want you to come to my office tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. We need to discuss your employment here." Olivia's heart sank. So this was it, the polite firing. "I understand," she whispered. But the next morning when Olivia arrived at Damien's office above the cafe, she found something unexpected. Damien sat behind his desk, but his expression was open, almost vulnerable. "Sit down, please," he said. Olivia sat, her hands folded in her lap. "I've thought a lot about yesterday," Damien began, "about how I've been running this place, running my life. I've been focused on profit margins and efficiency, but I forgot why I bought this cafe in the first place." He paused, gathering his thoughts. "My mother was a waitress, single parent, worked 3 jobs to keep me fed. She died when I was 23, right before I made my first million. She never got to see what I built, never got to stop working herself to exhaustion." Olivia's expression softened with understanding. "When I saw you yesterday working so hard, worrying about your brother, I saw her. And I saw what I've become. Someone who values shirts over people. Mr. Blackwell, Damien, please. And I have a proposition. I'm creating a new position here. Assistant manager. Better pay, health insurance that will cover your brother's treatments. I need someone who understands what this place means to the community. Someone who cares." Olivia stared at him, unable to speak. "The job is yours if you want it," Damien said quietly. "No conditions. Just an apology and a chance to do better." "Why?" Olivia whispered. "Because yesterday you showed me what real grace looks like. You stood there, terrified of losing your job, but you never lost your dignity. You reminded me of who I wanted to be before success made me forget." Olivia wiped her eyes, no longer trying to hide the tears. Yes, I want the job. Thank you." As she stood to leave, she paused. "Your date yesterday? She seemed nice." Damien smiled slightly. "She was perfectly nice. But she wasn't real. I spent 2 hours with her and learned nothing that mattered. I spent 5 minutes watching you work and remembered everything I'd forgotten." "Like what?" Olivia asked softly. "Like kindness costs nothing. Like dignity isn't determined by your bank account. Like the best things in life happen when you stop trying to control everything." Olivia smiled, the first genuine smile Damien had seen from her. "Your mother would be proud of you." "I hope so," Damien said. "I'm trying to be." 6 months later, the Harbor Cafe thrived in ways that had nothing to do with profit margins. Damien and Olivia worked side by side, building something that mattered. Her brother's treatments were going well. Damien had started a scholarship fund for children of service workers. And sometimes when the cafe closed and the world grew quiet, they would sit by the window and talk about dreams and second chances, about coffee stains and silk shirts, and how the worst moments can become the best beginnings. Not everything happened at once. Love rarely does. But it happened honestly, built on mutual respect and understanding, built on a foundation stronger than romance or attraction, built on seeing each other clearly and choosing to stay. If this story of unexpected beginnings touched your heart, Please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of second chances and real connections. Drop a comment sharing a moment when something went wrong but turned out right. Your story might inspire someone who needs to hear it today.